Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very special guest, actor, producer, writer, heavy equipment operator, and philanthropist. Did I say comedian?
I don't remember, and I don't care.
Stand-up comedian and not carer, Paige Weldon. Welcome to the show, Paige.
Thank you so much for having me.
We did the intro at the end again, and you're going to want to stay tuned because we talk about Taylor Swift for like an hour and a half.
20 minutes.
20 minutes of an hour and a half.
Okay, and you can skip through it. If you're going to be mad, just skip through it.
Yeah, don't be mad, bro.
Don't make yourself angry.
No, watch the whole Taylor bit.
Watch it and enjoy it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
How many times do you think we're going to say Taylor Swift over the next 45 minutes?
I'm not sure. I mean, are we going to go full name the whole time? Taylor Swift, Taylor Allison Swift, Taylor,
What?
You know.
I did not know her middle name.
Welcome.
I'm in the club now.
You're in the club now.
If I knew you were going to wear your bracelet, I would have worn my bracelet.
I actually have some in my purse.
Are you just passing them out wherever you go?
I've started bringing them because I noticed like a couple times, like when I was wearing the t-shirt I got from the show, I would like end up talking to somebody. I'm like, oh, I wish I had like bracelets to trade.
Yeah. Do you make them yourself?
I made a bunch with my friends who I went to the concert with. And then I obviously traded a bunch at the show. So I have like a bunch that other people made now too, which is really cute. Like leading up to the show, like over the few weeks, me and my friends would basically use it as like the way we would hang out for like, if it would be like, oh, you want to hang out tonight? We'll just like make some bracelets for the show and, you know, hang out, get takeout. Like,
how many did you take to the show?
I think I had like 20 when I went.
And how many did you come home with?
Oh, I should have counted. It's definitely less because there were a few times where I just gave them to people. But probably somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah,
almost.
pretty close. And then I had a few that I made that I kept for myself because I was like, oh, I like this one too much.
I can't believe that millions of people did not throw their bracelets onto the stage.
Yeah, that is really good that didn't happen.
I mean, it could be real bad. 70,000, 80,000 people throwing bracelets around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a relatively small item. I did think it was funny. I never really thought about it before. It's not funny, but I guess kind of sad. Like, I have floor seats and I have brought a water bottle because I know you're allowed to bring one water bottle into SoFi. And then as you're going down, they make you pour it into a cup. And I was like, oh, this is so I don't projectile it at home. Like, this is so sad.
What did you have to do? Did you check your bottle? Did you get it back?
It was just like a plastic bottle. So I think,
gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know what would have happened if I brought in like an actual like reusable.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it because I was like, once I finish this, I do want to throw this bottle away. I don't want to be carrying a water bottle.
I thought you were going to say at Taylor.
And I would want to throw it at them just to show how much I love them, you know.
Good luck
the
finding
band.
Me. Yeah. What night did you go?
I went night 1 and then I went again on night 5. So I guess the Thursday and the Tuesday. So
you got to see one taping. And then I heard Tuesday went really well.
Tuesday was really fun too. They were both so fun. I went, well, because I was on the floor on Thursday and then on Tuesday I was like way further up, like nosebleeds. And it was cool because I was like, something I was so impressed with the show is I was like, oh, it's actually kind of designed so with a stadium in mind. Like, it's really cool to see from above. The stage has all these effects and like stuff I didn't even see when I was on the floor, which is like, they're just two different experiences.
I didn't know that the stage had stuff going on it until I saw some clips.
Because you were on the floor. Yeah. I was saying, I was like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was like amazing to be that close and to be on the floor. But it was like later seeing video and stuff and being like, oh, wait, I missed that because like, especially like the visuals. I know everyone loves the visuals for when she sings August. It's like those pretty colorful clouds and delicate. She like steps down and like it looks like broken glass, all this stuff.
Yeah, I saw a clip on TikTok the other day where a little green dot would light up to show her where to put her foot. And
little
cool.
I love seeing those sort of like, and my favorite thing is seeing, you know, because they would rise out of the stage like Taylor, and then also like when she came out with Haim, like, and you can kind of see them like crouching down because clearly the platform is like just not low enough.
Yeah.
And it's funny from the side to see them kind of like waiting to be risen out because it's supposed to be such a dramatic effect, but it's actually so cute and goofy.
They have to ride a trolley.
That's what I have seen, but I was like, is that real or is that just people theorizing?
I have video from Haim's tour manager, who's my best friend.
Oh my God.
That's why I went to the show. And
cool.
Every night she'd be like putting them on stage, and like they would have to like get pulled in. I'll show you the video after.
That's so cute. Yeah, because I had seen like the only thing I've seen with that is I saw a video of, everyone's fascinated with the part where Taylor dives into the stage.
Is that at the end?
It's after the acoustic section.
Okay.
And like before Midnights.
Because I missed that whole part, but I saw it on the internet and I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of the show. It's like crazy. It looks insane.
Yeah.
You go, she's crazy. What is she doing?
Yeah.
She's diving into the stage and it makes this like big sound. They made this big sound effect of like a big like thud. Oh. And you're like, is she okay?
Right.
But I saw a video where someone happened to be like just at the right angle, probably like somewhere in the higher up seats. And you can see her dive and then you can see her like scurry off. And it's so funny because of, again, the drama of the dive and then just scurry.
Yeah, there's been a couple of clips. I don't know. I've just been deep diving into like what could go wrong at this show.
Yeah.
And there's one time where the floor didn't open up for her to go in again, so she had to like run from the end of the stage to go do an outfit change.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's funny because you also see that like as soon as she makes the call to run, you see that it starts to lower.
Oh no.
But you go, she had to make a decision.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfectly choreographed. I wonder how much rehearsal time she had to do.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm sure there will be some kind of a documentary series or something on it, but I don't know.
I think the live taping was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
Yeah.
For Netflix.
Yeah. Or I think it's in theaters is what it's for. Yeah.
Really?
Did you see that? It was just announced like yesterday.
That's even cooler than Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's, if you didn't get a chance to get a ticket, which was a problem, right?
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah.
Then the next best thing would be to see it in like IMAX,
Yeah. And I know it's like supposed to come out in theaters in October and then it's like, I'm sure eventually it'll be streaming so everyone can see it.
Yeah. October will be so fast. That's just such a fast turnaround.
I know. It's so crazy. It's like, we're not going to like stop thinking about this for even a moment.
Yeah.
Even while she's like not currently doing shows, it's going to be out there.
Yeah. It's insane. She made over $1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like historic. It's crazy.
Yeah. When she was first have you been a fan of her whole career?
I got really into her when 1989 came out, and then like after that went back and have become a fan of the whole catalog, but that was when I became a fan.
I think that was a big evolution for her.
Yeah, that was a big moment.
Kind of a crossover. It wasn't just like, I'm all country anymore. It's like, I'm writing music.
It was her pure pop album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big deal.
Did you listen to any of the other musicians that covered her whole 1989 album? I think it was Ryan Adams.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know.
Some like all indie singer-songwriter guys have covered like her albums in.
I do love a like an acoustic cover of a pop song, especially. I love when you get an acoustic cover of a song that you like didn't realize how sad it is,
mm-hmm.
and then it's like slowed down and you're like, wait, this is devastating.
Oh, are these feelings I'm having right now?
Like, obviously, like I always think of like, I think it's pretty clear that like Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball is a pretty sad song, but I've heard like acoustic covers of it where they're like really slowed down and you're like, this is so sad.
Yeah. Especially like the slower it gets, like the sadder it is.
You like hear words like more clearly, so you're thinking about it more. There's less of a beat to kind of like be distracted by.
Yeah, you're not just waiting for the drop.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did you get to select the floor for Thursday and then decide that you're going up in the bleachers for Tuesday? Or is it just they gave you tickets and that's what you got?
Well, the story of how I got the tickets for Thursday is actually kind of crazy. I didn't get tickets in the initial sale, like so many people, or it was like, the whole Ticketmaster thing where Ticketmaster shut down. And my friend and I were like on FaceTime that day being like, all right, well, we're verified fans. Like, obviously we're going to get tickets. Mm-hmm. And then, you learn that that's not the case. And we were really sad because we didn't get it from the initial pre-sale. We didn't get it from, my friend had a Capital One card. We're like, we'll do the Capital One sale. And none of it worked out. And so I kind of started keeping an eye on the Taylor Swift Reddit.
Smart.
I do feel like a lot of the time, like if I can't find the answer somewhere else from Googling something, I find it on like a Reddit thread because people are in there talking, you know, it's like real people who have a niche interest. And the Taylor Swift Reddit had a mega thread of people posting who were selling tickets for face value because they wanted to sell to like an actual fan, and they just happened to either they like, you know, panicked and bought more tickets than they could pay for, and they just wanted to sell them to someone who would actually appreciate them or whatever. And most of the time when someone would post the tickets, it would be like, you know, people respond immediately. So it's like, but I happened to find, there was this girl who posted her tickets, and they were front row, but they were front row like section B, like the section, like, you know, it's a long runway. And section B is like one of the sections close to like the main stage.
Oh, wow.
And like off the little runway. So being front row meant you're front row to that runway. But I saw that she had posted, and a few people had already commented like, I DM'd you. And I was like, well, I'm going to just DM her just in case, you know, who knows? Maybe these people will be like, oh, I actually changed my mind. I can't spend that money, whatever. And so it just ended up that it had been like a couple weeks, and she had said to me like, oh, I'm going to go down the list of like who messaged me first, and I'll like let you know. And then I hadn't heard from her, and I just kind of on a whim was like, I'm just going to double check. And I just hit her up, and I was like, hey, I'm sure you've sold them, but if you haven't, like, I would still be interested. And she got back to me right away, and she was like, I actually hadn't. I can sell them to you today if you want.
Wow.
And we like arranged, we had talked a little bit back and forth because I wanted to like make sure I wasn't getting scammed. And she was like a really nice girl. And she explained that she bought 4 tickets and 2 of her friends couldn't go. So she was selling 2. And, we like just got online at the same time, and I like PayPal'd her, you know, you use PayPal goods and services, folks, because if there's a scam situation, you can report it. Do not be Venmoing anyone, etc.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be a giant pain in the ass if it came down to it, because, you know, you don't want to have your money tied up like that while you're like reporting it, but it does have those protections. And so we did that, and then she transferred me the tickets, and I just like, I couldn't believe it. And
Did you meet her at the show?
Yeah, her and her friend were sitting next to us.
Yeah.
And I met her a little bit before too, because they were VIP tickets, so they come with like that box with like all the little, like, you get like a special lanyard that's like you know, the bracelets they give you that light up. The lanyard also lights up.
Oh, really?
So it's like VIP, and it's like fun.
That's cool.
And, you know, little like, you know, a tote bag and shit like that. And so we met up, and she gave me, because they got shipped to her since she was the one who initially bought the tickets.
Oh, so you could show up with it and have all this stuff on.
So we met up with her. I met up with her like a couple weeks before the show when the box came, and then at the show we saw her too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys friends now?
You know, I don't think it was headed that way, but we were friendly, you know. She was really nice, but there was no being like, oh, we got to keep in touch after this. Yeah. It was a transaction.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then Tuesday I just was like, I have to go again, and so I kept refreshing StubHub until there was a price I could justify to myself, and I went again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. That man. I have do you know Meg Noble? She's a comedian.
I don't.
She did some Ticketmaster stuff, and then was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to go. And then they emailed her and were like, hey, we understand you were trying to get tickets.
Yes, there were some like rounds of, they released more tickets closer to, yeah.
And she got front row in like the sticky outy part, but like in the middle of that
part.
Oh,
that like diamond thing? Oh, that's cool. Because most of the show is on that diamond.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was at the end of the whole thing.
That's cool because you're there for, although it sounds like you missed the acoustic set.
Not all of it.
So wait, what night did you go?
Went on Monday.
Oh, okay. Oh, so what were the surprise songs that night? It was Exile and
If
What was the guitar
if
one?
she was sitting in here with us right now, I still couldn't tell you.
Oh man, I can't. I'm like, oh, Dress.
Okay.
That like super sexy song of like, I only bought this dress so you could take it off. That's the one she did on guitar, and then she ran over to her piano to sing one of the saddest songs ever.
Yeah. Monday she had somebody else play the piano, and then it sank down into the stage.
Oh,
But it's 3.5 hours long, so I don't know if I was
during Evermore though.
probably.
Yeah,
It
that's
sounds like-
the part that when she does Tolerate It, which is the part where she like crawls around on the table. She has someone else play the piano.
I missed that part too.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to somebody who knows this show backwards and forwards.
We so where we were was just one section, and then there was a place that you could go and get beer.
Yeah.
And there was no line, so we went and
Yeah.
got a lot of beers. And
When
then,
in Rome, you know?
and then my friend who was working with Haim is working with Haim. They're in London right now. She was like, "This thing's gonna go till like 11:30, 11:45. You got to get out of here at 11:15."
Oh, to avoid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we leave at 11:15, and then my buddy gets in the merch line. And I'm like, "Dude, we're trying to get an Uber out of here." He's like,
Oh, you Ubered there?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were going to drink pretty heavily that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he waited I was like, there's nothing she's selling in this truck that's not available online.
Well, except for the blue crew neck.
He didn't get the blue.
Some people know.
Is it like the In-N-Out menu? Like if you ask the right way, you can get something?
That would be so sick if there was secret menu items at the
Yeah.
Taylor Swift merch booth. No, it's just this crew neck that people just really want, and it's like not available online, and it's usually sold out. I ended up getting one because when I went on Tuesday on the Tuesday show, I bought a ticket and I went by myself, but I drove down with some friends who were going that night. And afterwards, they like decided at the end of the show to try the merch booth, and then they like called me. I was like waiting at the car, and they were like, "We're getting blue crew necks. They have them." So I am a proud owner, but in general, yeah, I would say you could just purchase online, and especially if you're trying to get out of there, now's not the time.
Right. Well, when we went out, we went straight out, and then the Uber line said this way, but then after he got his shirt or whatever, we walked around the long way. So everyone was out by the time we got out. I was like, well, why didn't we just watch the rest of the show?
That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I can't say what I would have done if I was having to take a Lyft. I probably would have just planned for the idea that it was going to suck.
Like 95 people canceled on us on the way there, and like nobody. We had one guy call us back on the way out, and he was like, the closest I get is within a mile. I was like, well, I'm not walking a mile. So we start walking a mile, and then there's just people that are lined up on Manchester that are like, where do you live? And I live near Inglewood, so it's like, oh, I'm just a mile down the street.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense too, to take a Lyft. Yeah. The group I went with, we just like planned, we like just planned for it to kind of suck, but we parked, and afterwards we just kind of like chilled in the car for a little bit while, because you can like start trying to leave, but it's just going to be terrible.
Right. Stop.
You can like watch the lines die down and then go. My friend like made sandwiches and stuff, and we were just sat and ate our sandwiches and just like took off our shoes and just like chilled in the car.
Sandwiches sound delicious.
Yeah.
Because I had never been to SoFi before. It was my first time.
Same.
And all they had was like what seemed to not be fun stadium food. It was like dipping tacos and like pulled pork sandwiches, and that's all great. You get a pizza, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like for a ballpark experience, to me, it needs to be like hot dogs and nachos and
they've kind of done like almost like how LAX has just like little mini versions of existing restaurants in LA. Like it feels like they're kind of trying to do that or something. I didn't eat anything there, but I noticed it had like, it's like the Alvera Street booth that's like Mexican food, and then I forget what else, but yeah, it is a little, it's not quite your classic ballpark food.
It's a little, I think for a place that, I mean, of course they have concerts there, but for a place that specializes in like having two different football teams play out of it, seemed there just be like a little bit, and maybe the menu is different for football games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just seemed a little fancy, but I was on the fancy level, right? You could keep going down and down and down because they built it into the earth so that planes didn't hit it.
Oh, okay.
I learned that
that's
too.
important.
Yeah, the guy that I went with, he was like telling me all these facts, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, but when it rains, it seems like it's just gotta like fill up with water.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of a drainage system going on. I'm not sure.
There's some boxes on the floor level that are lower than the field. So when there's a game, they have the benches.
Yeah.
So you just paid $1 million to stare at the back of like everybody's head that's blocking the game.
It does seem funny to me. I've never been in like a box at a stadium or, going to see any like a baseball game or whatever where you're in like a suite. But I always thought it seems funny because you're just like in a room.
Watching
like, wouldn't
TV.
you want to like sit and watch? Like,
yeah.
It seems very funny to me.
And they put them up above the nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
Like, if you're paying that much money, let's get down front.
Maybe if you have a certain amount of money, you just don't care. You're just like, I'll go to 1 million of these, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of boxes are owned by businesses, and then the people that get to go work for those companies.
Yeah, it's like, surprise, instead of giving you guys raises, we're gonna bring you to the game.
Yeah, we're definitely not gonna pay you anymore, but we're gonna spend $1 million a year on this booth.
Perks.
Right. Come work for us.
Yeah, we're like a family.
Yeah, a family that goes to all the events at SoFi. Yeah. What's the before? Oh, have you seen Taylor anywhere besides Los Angeles?
Oh no, I haven't seen her. I saw her during the Reputation tour at the Rose Bowl, but that's the only other time I've seen.
That seems like it would be a big deal too.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was bigger in scope.
Yeah, it's just like different now. Yeah. She's obviously a famous pop star then, but it's just different now.
Right.
It's just, especially since she hadn't toured since then, it was like a huge deal.
Oh, is that she kind of like waited? She kind of like.
Well, it was pandemic. It was like she was supposed to have a tour that was going to happen the summer of 2020, and obviously it did not happen. Yeah,
that was kind of a rough year.
Yeah, there was other stuff.
Yeah, people were sneezing or something.
Yeah, so no tour that year, and so it was like it had already been a couple years, and then with the pandemic, and so I think that's a big part of why it was like super hard to get tickets too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how many nights it would have been for her to perform there for it to just be easy to get tickets.
I know, because you go like, okay, well, if she adds more dates, it's like, sure, you can account for how many people in theory there's demand for, but then there are going to be people who want to go again, or people who come in from out of town who couldn't get tickets in another city, It just seems like there's a lot of factors. Yeah,
it seems like LA would not be the one you want to fly in for.
Yeah, I did meet a few people who had, but I mean, I guess it's just like, I think some people just hit a point where they were like, whatever one I can get tickets for, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some stuff I can tell you off mic about, like guest list and ticket swapping and the trading that happened.
That's definitely very interesting to me.
Yeah.
I also think it's cool. I'm also a huge Haim fan, so I was excited to see
no
them
way.
too.
Very cool.
So I'm excited to hear that you have, Haim information.
I have as much as you want to know. They played a pop-up show last night.
Oh, really?
In London, yeah.
Oh, that's so
They did
fun.
their first headlining festival gig this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah. I've seen them like posting about in London.
So then they did a little pop-up in the O2 last night.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with London?
I've been when I was like a teenager, so I'm not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only been for work, so I have no idea what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like you're just there for one thing. You don't end up getting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
It kind of feels, when you go somewhere for like not comedy stuff, it feels like you get up in the morning, like for film related stuff. I feel like you get up at like 6, you go shoot whatever it is you're going to shoot, and then you're home at 9 and you're like, oh, this city is great.
Yeah.
But I do the opposite with comedy. I'm not the guy that's going to go out and just like go see the city.
I don't do that either.
I just sit around.
I just sit in the hotel and watch Guy Fieri or, whatever Food Network is showing me that day.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of all the vibe of the headliner. I'm not headlining yet. I don't know if that was obvious.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just like, if they're out and about and doing stuff, then I'll, go around with them. But
yeah, I think I've only really ever opened for people who it was like, yeah, we might go get lunch or something, but we're not out seeing the sights.
Yeah.
And if I'm, in town myself, if there's something I really want to see, I will like make time. But especially sometimes it's like you fly in and then you're tired. And I mean, in theory, you work at night and then you have all the day free, but you're tired from working.
Mm-hmm.
You are, especially if you do 2 shows in a night, you're there for like 4 or 5 hours. And it's hard to get up and like really make yourself go see the city.
Yeah, especially when all cities start to look the same. Like the downtowns are always got their little quirks.
Yeah.
But like you get outside into the suburbs and everybody has that same like Walmart, Target, craft store, Dunkin' Donuts like stretch.
Yeah.
It just starts to look. I mean, I'm complaining like this isn't what I've been wanting to do my whole life.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
I mean, you're not complaining. You're just saying. I think you're justifying to yourself why you don't go see the sites.
Yeah, I mean, like,
if I had to guess,
let's go see what this Walmart is all about. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe you could check see if this one has a McDonald's in it or not. You know, things like that. You know?
Yeah, that'd be fun to bet on.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make it interesting for yourself.
Right. Like I'll bet you $1 this one's McDonald's is in the back. No
I'm
way.
I'm picturing the layout of the Walmart, and
Yeah.
I can sense that this one is right when you come in.
If you're like they all are.
Yeah.
If you're smart, you get up an hour before everybody else and you walk to the Walmart and you check it out and you're like, all right, I'm betting you a McFish that it's on the right.
That's your go-to, huh?
The big fish?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell you the last time I had McDonald's.
Oh, okay. I actually don't think I can either. And that's not out of... Oh, I think, you know what? I definitely would have to be an instance of like on the road, like getting breakfast. Because McDonald's breakfast, I'm all about.
It's very good.
It's great.
Yeah. And you know exactly what you're going to get.
You know exactly what you're getting. Yeah, I think actually the last time I went to McDonald's, I remember I was opening for Adam Conover, and there was like, we did several shows in... Spokane, and then the last night of the shows was in Tacoma, which is across the state.
Yep.
And so we drove with the host that is like a local to Tacoma, Nasil Zeal. She's very funny, and she and her friend who was like hanging out with her for the weekend drove us across the state, and we were like hanging out. It was like a really fun little road trip, but we stopped and we got McDonald's breakfast. And I had a moment where I didn't, you know, when you do something that you do all the time, but you never think about it until other people witness it. I like the first thing when I got my McMuffin and my hash brown is I opened my McMuffin and I put my hash brown in it.
What?
And I didn't think anything of it. And everyone was like, now I just saw what you did. And I thought, well, of course.
Right.
But it blew their minds. I don't want to speak for them, but I think it blew their minds.
It's blowing my mind right now. I'm today years old. I want to go get a McMuffin right now and try that.
I mean, why wait for the crunch? You know, put it right in the sandwich.
Yeah, for me, the hash browns are something to snack on because I get McDonald's breakfast to go, right?
Sure.
So I snack on the hash browns on my way back to wherever I can eat. But I think
it's the equivalent of eating the fries from the bag.
Oh, the fries don't stand a chance in the car, dude. If I did sit down with fries, I would dunk them in some kind of barbecue or ketchup sauce. But if I'm in the car, it's like, let's go.
I've always felt that, and this is just, you know, if there are any fast food higher ups listening, I have this idea that I think they should give you a separate little thing of car fries when you go through the drive-thru.
Smart.
So it's like you go, all right, these are my car fries. You wrap up the bag, you crumble up the top so you don't even look at it, and you just take out your car fries and you just enjoy those.
And they come in like a cup that goes in your cup holder.
Something that's for car snacking.
And they should have like ketchup in the bottom, so when you pull it out, it's already pre-ketchuped.
Oh my god! Kind of like
I don't think I have to cut this part out because it's too good of an idea.
Too good of an idea. I mean, I guess mail this tape to us so that we can copyright it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll burn it onto a DVD and FedEx it. That's a really good idea.
Right?
Especially for a place like In-N-Out, because In-N-Out's fries will not stay hot by the time you get home.
Yeah, that's very true because they're an open top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you animal style? Are you into In-N-Out at all?
Oh, I love In-N-Out. I grew up in Southern California, so I have a warmness to In-N-Out, and I get defensive when people move here and have an attitude about it. Because also, the fries, you get them light, well done. That's what you got to do.
Oh, is that the pro tip?
They're a little crunchier.
Oh,
I've never been a big animal style person. It's just I feel like, I guess probably the time when I would have animal style would be like when I was like in high school and like a group of us like went to In-N-Out, and it's like that's what you're getting. It's just animal style fries. You know, when you're like a teenager and you buy like the cheapest like non-food.
Yeah, that's gonna be your meal.
It's definitely delicious, but I usually just get a double in fries. I don't get too crazy.
I started doing singles.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, do I need the extra patty?
It depends. Yeah. If you If you're really hungry, I feel like a single will disappoint. But yeah.
If I'm going no fries, if I'm going burger only, I'm doing a double.
Okay.
Are you grilled onions or regular onions?
I like both.
Do you get both?
I get both.
You get the grilled on top of the
yeah,
crunchy?
I love onions.
Man, me too. This is just a side tangent, but the bar next to my apartment has Burger Mondays.
Oh, cool.
So you get a pub style burger and fries and 2 beers for $10. You can't beat that anywhere on the planet. But you get either regular onions or grilled onions. And half the time if you say grilled onions, you get
regular anyway. Yeah. Well, I guess that's fair.
Right. For $10, you can't really complain.
Yeah, you can't start being like, well, I didn't get both of my types of onions, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
I add bacon.
Ooh.
And then I add cheese. You can get French fries or tater tots. I add cheese to the tots. Then
That's
I get
nice.
a side of chili. Pour it on the tots and the burger. Cut the burger in half. Eat it from the inside out.
That's crazy. Oh, wow. I love that you have a system.
I do.
You've got a system down.
Every Monday. I can't wait for this Monday.
I feel like if I lived near there, I would absolutely not be able to pass up that deal.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning of the week, you're like, maybe you did grocery shop, but you're like, I don't want to fucking eat the food that I bought.
Right.
Being like, well, there's a $10 meal I can go have, which is like, doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And their beers are $7 for like a regular draft beer.
That's so nice.
You're basically getting 2 beers for $4 off, and they're just going to throw a burger in.
What a wonderful establishment.
It's so great. It is a dump.
Give them my best. I really love what they're doing.
I think their cleanliness rating is like a D- or something.
I find that to always be a good sign.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, obviously it's not a 100% rule.
Right.
But I do feel like, especially when you walk up to a place and it has a B, you go, you know what? This is a good place.
Yeah.
Maybe got down the wrong path for a minute. But they're going to get it back up to an A.
Especially with like Chinese food or Thai food, you want a solid B.
Or like a diner. I feel like you want a B. You know, I feel like when a diner has an A, I'm like...
yeah, what are we doing?
I feel like the sandwich is going to be $20.
Right.
I'm not into it.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, do you have any cast iron products in your life?
I don't.
Cast iron products, you're not supposed to put them in the dishwasher. You're supposed to like wipe them off and
I've
then
heard this.
Like season them.
You re-season them.
Yeah.
Right?
Seasoning is just another word for like let it stay dirty till you cook something else. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any cast iron. But
I can see myself getting into that. I like hate cooking, but I think I would be able to at least, you know, sort of philosophically get down with that.
I'm okay with if you never clean the griddle and it has the seasoning of 1,000 burgers on it.
Yeah, totally.
Just
I always have this memory of one time it was like, you know, when it must have been like middle school or early high school when like everything is so embarrassing to you.
Everything.
And I remember I had friends over and we made grilled cheese and I had used the pan that we would typically, my family used to make pancakes. And I remember a friend like biting into her grilled cheese and being like, why does this taste like pancakes? Me being like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. And in retrospect, I'm like, that sounds really good.
Actually does.
Like a little bit of a light sweetness on the outside of your grilled cheese.
Like a kiss of pancake
just
on your
just a little touch.
Are you a mayo on the outside grilled cheeser?
I have not done that.
Yeah.
That sounds quite good.
Do you make grilled cheese quite often?
I don't. I guess I should. Wow, what am I doing with my life?
Let's cut right now and just go make grilled cheeses.
I seriously like never make anything. I make breakfast for myself. It's like as far as I really go with cooking.
Can you beat McDonald's breakfast? What's your go-to breakfast at home?
I guess I wouldn't say I can beat it, but you know, obviously I could make an equivalent. But I usually do just like a, you know, very standard, just like eggs and toast, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But
do you cut the center of the toast out and crack the egg in the pan?
I have never done that. I've never done that.
I see people doing it online. I'm like, that seems like a lot of work. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I feel like also, especially if you could just make fried eggs and then just like also make toast.
Yeah. But
it does look cute.
What's your egg order? Are you sunny side up?
I'm over medium.
Over medium, so a little runny.
I want the yolk to run. I do not want the white to be runny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the problem with runny whites? Oh God! I hope somebody doesn't clip that the wrong way.
I would say that they're just, you know, they remind me of boogers. That's kind of gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think obviously you get something out of a runny yolk, right? You scoop it up with the bread. What are you getting out of the runny white?
I don't know. So to me, if you're colorblind, you could probably still tell the difference between the white and the yolk, but it's the same thing for me. With enough salt, you can cure anything.
Okay. That's another thing I feel like I don't really understand. I know colorblind, it's reds and greens you can't see, right?
I don't know. I assumed it's just like a black and white television where it's just like depths of gray.
I don't think so. But I also am never like, I'm always like, how do we know? You know, when people do like, this is how dogs see. I'm like, how do we know?
Or like when they're like, if you leave the house for 5 minutes or 5 hours, your dog can't tell the difference.
That's not true.
Yeah.
They might get over. I think the real thing is your dog might seem upset that you're leaving, but trust they will get over it and just go sleep. Mm-hmm. But it's not that they don't know the difference.
And then, yeah, and then they say dogs are supposed to sleep 16 hours a day. Well, if you live in an apartment, that's all they can do. Like if you lived on a farm, your dog would probably be running 16 hours a day.
I mean, I think that they tire themselves out. I mean, do you have a dog?
No.
No, okay.
The road prevents.
Yeah, I don't have a dog either, but my family's always had dogs, but we've always lived somewhere where they could go out and you know. Yeah. But even so, they still sleep all the time.
It's true. I want to get a dog when I have like a partner in a house.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping the partner doesn't travel as much as I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to find the like right balance of somebody who can take care of the dog when you're not there.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, I just don't want to have to take my dog out to go to the bathroom every night. It just feels like, I don't think any of us would like that.
Not even
me
dog.
Or the dog.
Yeah, you don't want to be holding it all day.
Yeah.
At the mercy of when somebody just whims to take you outside.
Yeah. And I'm sure they don't care that much, but I think I would feel bad.
Yeah.
I think I would project on the dog.
Yeah. It's like, what, you want to go out again?
I would say, I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad mom. If
you could have any dog you wanted to and like, I don't know, 40 people that you could pay a ton of money to take care of it when you were not around, what kind of dog would you get?
I don't know. I guess I would just get like probably a relatively small mutt of some kind, you know? Mm-hmm.
So you don't have like a vision board dog?
No. I think probably when I picture is just picture like one of my dogs from growing up who I go, oh, I would like to have June.
Yeah. What kind of dog was June?
She was like, we don't know. She was some kind of mix of some kind of terrier. She was like, you know, very like medium size, probably weigh like, 25 pounds.
Okay.
So not super teeny tiny.
Right.
But just kind of shaggy, like she, just kind of shaggy blonde dog.
Mm-hmm. Just the average American dog.
Just your average dog. Just no fuss.
Right. Not big enough to be a problem, but not small enough to be like a yappy little chihuahua.
Yeah, where you go like, I can play with you and not worry that, I'm going to hurt you because you're so small.
Yeah. When you kick it, it just doesn't go as far.
Yeah, she can really hold her ground.
Yeah. I like a dog that can take a real beating,
Oh, God. So sad.
Beaten dogs jokes. That's not
always hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk to the average dog owner, the things that they would do to a cat are...
Oh, this is something I don't get. I do feel like there is a sort of false rivalry or like you have to be one or the other.
Why can't you be both?
I like animals. I feel like sometimes when I say that like I grew up with dogs and that I like dogs, the assumption is like, oh, she must hate cats. And it's like, or I could also like cats.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person and I would like to pet an animal.
It's like when I tell people that I love Trump and then they're like...
That must mean that you hate, and you go, no,
I love Biden.
I'm just
also.
A fan.
Yeah. Since the days of the reality show days.
Yes. What was it?
I don't know. I spaced the minute I started down that path, and I was like, this isn't going to be funny now. That I can't. The Apprentice.
The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I should pick that back up and just
different
edit it.
times.
Yeah. You're fired.
Oh man, when we were just like that guy,
that
guy
Donald.
On TV. Wow.
I want him to fire me one day. Joke's on us, folks. He did.
Yeah.
I don't know. anything that I say politically on this show, it's always a joke because
it's all laughs.
It's all got to be funny. There's too many political podcasts for someone to look at a comedy podcast and be like, this guy, he really knows his Trump stuff.
Yeah, someone should not come to you for that, is what you're saying.
If you want political advice and you come to me, I'm going to make something up.
Yeah. If someone comes to you for political advice, it's because they didn't actually want it.
Right.
Yeah.
These are the same people that tell you to do your own research, and then they don't do their own research, and then they ask you what you think, and then they assimilate your idea.
Wow. You're kind of tripping me out.
All right.
You're getting deep.
Yeah. I just wanted to say assimilate because I watched Star Trek a bunch when I was a kid.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Borg jokes now.
I have to admit, I assume that they say that a lot, but I have not.
Yeah. Not a Star Trek person?
No, and not in any kind of a like I don't like it way. It just never was my thing.
Yeah. What was your thing? What without revealing your age, what was your like
my big show?
Your high school like era? Were you
well, I was really into this. Wasn't when I was in high school, but I really loved Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
And then I guess when I was in high school, it was more the era of like the OC.
So you're into shows where people talk faster than they can think.
Yeah, man.
My mom loves the Gilmore Girls.
I love Gilmore Girls.
I worked with Gilmore or whatever her name is.
Lauren Graham.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that her, the daughter?
Oh, the daughter is Alexis Bledel.
Okay.
Yeah. Rory.
Rory, right. Mm-hmm. I worked with her on a promo for something, not Gilmore Girls, but a different show, or maybe they were spinning it back up or something. And I just looked at her and I was like, my mom is a big fan of yours. Oh. She was like, but not you, just your mom. And I was like, oh, you got me. But I'm
sure she gets that all the time.
I bet.
Yeah.
But like, it's like watching a tennis match, that show.
It is. And I mean, I think that's kind of why, like, even now, especially since it's on Netflix, it's like my comfort show because it's like, I've watched it a million times, but like, you're not like, oh, I've seen this. I know what they say in this, you know, it's just entertaining.
It's like, I mean,
yeah,
between her and her mom, like,
I've watched it a million times and I feel like I always catch something I didn't catch before.
I'm that way with Anthony Bourdain's old stuff.
Yeah.
I watch that to fall asleep.
That's nice. Oh, I love hearing what people's comfort shows are.
Yeah. Because his old one before it went to CNN when it was still like on the Travel Channel or something, it's better. It's a better show. He's younger and he like is more interested. He's not checked out and he doesn't have all the fame and money. There's 9 seasons of it.
Yeah.
But the bumper to come in and out of commercials, which just plays through on a streamer, is like some dude screaming, no reservations. Oh, yes! So you get about 20 minutes of sleep and then you're like, what? I'm okay. I'm still here.
That's so funny. I remember that as soon as you said it, I was like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I must have when I've watched those ones. But I feel like a lot of the time my experience of watching that show was like, you know, they just re-air it over and over again, you know. Again, like Hotel Room, you just turn it on and it's on all day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did one season of something called A Cook's Tour.
Oh.
So if you're like into the vintage of Anthony Bourdain,
okay,
one season of A Cook's Tour, then No Reservations, and then whatever the big one was after that. He did like 17 seasons of like travel around and eat food stuff.
Yeah. I for some reason I assumed they were all No Reservations, but I guess I just kind of melded them in my mind.
Yeah, I can't remember when it went to CNN. I can't remember the name of it now, and everybody at home is just like,
this is classic podcast stuff where you're like, I'm not gonna look it up because I'm engaged in a conversation and the person at home is furious.
Yeah. I did a daily pop culture podcast with my friend Misty that I was telling you about from home. We had our computers, we fact check each other, but it turned out it ended up being us like reading facts on camera, and we weren't debating what we liked. It started off so much better when it was like, do you remember that show in the 80s and then Alf, and then and then the 18, and just flowed like that. But when we had our own list of like the top 5 things to do in 1991, like it kind of got boring.
Yeah, there's you couldn't find the in between not knowing anything and then just like listing facts.
Yeah. I think you need a Switzerland. You need a producer that knows the fact.
Yeah.
And then like me and you can just argue it out and be like, no, the Buffalo Quarter came out in 81. You know,
they can tell you the fact, and then you don't, and then it's like you don't have a screen in front of you where now you're Googling other things that remind you, like free associating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also thought I was a good reader and I liked the sound of my own voice. So I would just keep reading and reading and reading.
Yeah.
And she would get bored. Mm-hmm. And that's why no one watched that show. We did 428 episodes of that show during Pandy.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there was literally nothing else to do.
Yeah. Like, was that every day almost?
15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
We recorded once a week. Mm-hmm. And then we just chop it up into 15-minute episodes.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, it was fun. We built out cute little sets and stuff. This was at our old studio off of Bar and Cahuenga, but it's still up, folks. Check it out. Misty and Ike. Fucking good luck. I stole the Facebook page.
You still have it?
Yeah, I stole it for this show.
Oh, you just changed the name and everything.
I assimilated it.
Yeah, man. No one knew.
So you said you grew up in Southern California?
Yes.
Is that like around these parts?
I grew up like a couple hours south of here in Temecula, California.
Oh, wait. Did I read something about El Cajon somewhere?
Oh, for some reason, my IMDb says I was born in El Cajon.
Have you been there?
Which is not true. Yeah, like I lived there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think I must have like said something about it on a podcast somewhere, and people put it on my IMDb, and I like can't seem to change it. I mean, I was born in San Diego. Like I lived in San Diego when I was a kid, and then we moved to Temecula, which is like an hour north.
Wine country.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like everyone, the things they know about Temecula are wine country and the casino. Mm-hmm. And I go like, that was not my experience. Right. I was, I moved when I was 19. So, I was never.
You weren't chugging wine and gambling growing up?
I wish. I mean, I heard that there were cool parties in wine country, but I was never invited.
My buddy got married down there.
That is what I also hear is a lot of people are like, oh, went to a wedding there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you have to drive forever to get to the hotel, and then they have to bus you.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Bus. Yeah.
But it seems like you could grab like 3 to 5 acres of any land out there and be like, this is a wedding venue now, and it would be gorgeous.
Yeah, I guess so. It's so funny because like the part of Temecula I lived in was just the part that's all like tract homes, which, is just like, any suburban. Like when you are driving in Southern California, they all kind of look like that. You go to like Valencia or something and it looks exactly the same as Temecula. But then like, it was always like there were some kids at school who you knew like lived in wine country.
Right.
But it's just like a whole other world.
It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. That made me think of Weeds, the show Weeds.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Little boxes.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gilmore Girls. What was post Gilmore Girls? Like, is there like, if you did an eras of your favorite shows?
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, I was really into Lost when that was out.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm saving it.
There'll be a rainy day where you're glad you have a show to binge.
Yeah. I spent my last COVID on Harry Potter. I'd never seen that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And how did you feel?
I mean, I watched all of them.
I think it probably hit you at the wrong time. They're for,
Yeah.
You're meant to grow up with them.
My headliner asked me the other day, he's like, have you read the books? I'm rereading the Harry Potter books. Have you read the books? I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I read them, when I was younger, but I left that in the past.
But I do feel like I derailed you. I wanted to feel special by telling you about Lost.
I guess I'm trying to think of like what I was super into, like when I was in high school and everything.
It doesn't have to be high school. It could be like, high school. I mean, let's call Gilmore Girls like post high school, right? And then was Lost at the same time? Gilmore
Lost
Girls
was on when I was like starting college. It was ending when I was starting college because I watched all of them. Like I got the DVDs from Hollywood Video.
Wow.
And like watched all of it before the last season because everyone was so excited for the last season.
Yeah.
And then famously they hated the ending, I think.
You can never appease anybody on an ending of a show.
People are always upset.
Yeah.
There's never a good one.
What's the worst, best ending of a show? Like things that come to mind are like the ending of The Sopranos, the ending of Game of Thrones. Like people were, for Game of Thrones, they were collecting money to reshoot it.
I do remember thinking that Lost was kind of a bad ending.
Okay.
It was just, as far as I remember, there's just like, the main thing I remember is there's like a weird scene of them all in this like kind of heaven. And it's like, I don't even remember what happened, but I remember being like, and I remember also, I think a part of what sort of got to people and sort of pissed people off about the ending of Lost, if I remember correctly, is that the creators afterwards were like, we're not doing any interviews about it. It's over and we're never talking about it again. And I remember that pissing people off.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like when detectives like split up suspects. It's like, let's hear your version. Let's hear your version. They didn't have their shit straight.
Yeah. Well, and I think, I don't know. I honestly feel like most of the endings that people hate, I feel fine about. But I don't know if that's just me being a contrarian, like being like, I don't know. I liked it.
I didn't like the ending of Game of Thrones. Were you a Game of Thrones person?
I fell off of Game of Thrones. I had kind of a weird feeling that like one of the seasons I started it and I was like, I remember being like, did I watch the last one? Like and somehow I realized that I like missed a season.
Oh.
And I got overwhelmed and was like, I think I'm out.
Yeah. That'll happen.
Yeah. I remember when it ended, I guess people were not happy or...
Super pissed.
Okay.
Super pissed. They were trying to raise like $14 million to reshoot the ending.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's not worth money.
It's just worth money, but like even if you... Like they closed the show for the season, right? They like wrapped everybody. So like, yes, the shooting budget for the last episode was probably $14 to $20 million. But that's while they already had the crew. Like to get everybody back... This is nerd stuff, but like...
I mean, it's just unrealistic. It's people, putting too much on something and then...
But if 10,000, 15, 20,000 people all chip in to reshoot an ending, how are they all going to agree on what it should be? It's like, I'll put my $5 in. I want it this way. It's like, we can't shoot 20,000 endings.
Yeah.
It was never going to work.
No, it's just, we can't all be happy.
No.
And
we can't.
That's the lesson, I think.
51% of us can be happy at one time. The other 49 of us need something to bitch about.
Just like is that just, you're saying 51% because that's like random chance?
That's just what the election numbers look like every 4 years. It's just like, which is super weird.
Well, that is funny because it was just like, I always remember learning that that's like random chance is just 50-50, right? Like if you repeat something over and over again, you're going to end up 50-50. Mm-hmm. So...
My buddy works on those reality, shows where someone performs and you vote on an app. Uh-huh. And in case the app went down, he always had a tent or like a room of 30 people. It was a different random 30 people every week. Oh. And they voted by paper. And the numbers for the 30 people in the room and the numbers for the people that voted on the app were dead on every week.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Right. I mean, if the power goes out or the app goes down, like...
Yeah.
They still got to keep shooting. Somebody's got to vote.
Yeah, of course. It's very important.
When you moved to... What year... Not specifically what year, but like when you moved to LA, did you do like any audience stuff or, like audience filler or any of that stuff?
Oh, no, I never did.
Yeah.
I definitely knew people who were like extras and stuff, but I didn't do it.
Have you done audience warm-up for TV?
I have not.
I think that would be so much fun.
It seems really fun.
Yeah.
I've done like, I guess technically like warm up for special tapings and stuff like that, but that's different, I think.
Who's special?
I did, I opened for Maria Bamford a few years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. And you're headlining now sometimes?
Sometimes. I mean, it's all stuff I've like booked myself in smaller clubs. Not like I'm like, making a living off of headlining every weekend, but sometimes.
You're not wrapping your face on your tour bus yet?
Not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
It's coming. Yeah.
One day.
Do you, like if you were moving as many tickets as Bert Kreischer, do you think you would put your face on the side of your bus?
I feel like I wouldn't have a bus.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little too soft for that.
It's not for everybody.
I don't think it would be for me.
Yeah. It's rough because that's where you live.
Yeah.
For weeks.
I need to be alone sometimes. I feel like I could not handle the bus. I mean, I know you get off and then you stay at a hotel, but like...
No.
No?
The bus is so expensive. It's
that you
save money on flights and hotels for everyone.
Oh, wow.
I've only been on one tour that we did a bus as a videographer, not as a comedian. We did a bus, and the headliner was like, I'm not sleeping in here. Like, get everybody a room. And every night the bus would pull up to a hotel.
Yeah.
I was like, this is extravagant.
Yeah. A little bit of a hat on a hat situation.
It's a hat on a hat. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think he saw the bill and was like, no.
Wait.
Yeah. Mm-mm. But.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Is there a place that you want to go for comedy that you haven't been yet?
I guess it would be cool to go to England, do comedy in London. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Seems really cool.
I have heard that the comedians over there do not have to travel internationally, and they can make a living wage just doing spots at the clubs.
I've heard that as well. Yeah. I feel like you always hear these mythical places where everything is fine.
Yeah. In Scotland, all the comedians have Porsches. It's like, yeah. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm never going to go. I'm not going to check. So.
Right.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Tell me whatever.
I'm not even going to Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you ever, when you're at dinner with your friends, 2 questions. Do you ever put all your phones in a stack in the middle, and whoever reaches for their phone first has to pay for dinner?
I have never done that.
Or, follow-up question, have you ever played credit card roulette for dinner?
No.
So credit card roulette used to be everybody throws their card down, and we pick one card, and they pay, which got to be sucking because we almost always pick the same dude's card.
Yeah.
So now we do whoever gets pulled out doesn't have to pay, and everybody else just splits it a little bigger.
Oh, okay.
That's just a little gambling for dinner.
I feel like the thing is, well, I feel like I'm never in like a big enough group where I feel like usually if I'm out to dinner, it's like with friends, it's like maybe 4 people maximum. Yeah. But I like to do, my favorite thing is, I tend to be someone who like hangs out with friends more like one-on-one or in like smaller groups. And I like to just do, we're not splitting this, but you just get the next one. I feel like that's the nice, like, I like the energy that creates of like, yeah, no, I'm not going to make sure dollar for dollar, cent for cent, we're really splitting this. Just you get it next time. You know?
That's better. I like that better. I get the only thing I get anxiety about, I'm lying about that. I get anxiety about all
the only thing, and it's crazy. There's only one.
It's dinner parties of more than 5 people at a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Because the splitting of the bill is like, inevitably there's some dude who's cheap and they're like, well, I only had the soup, and then there's some dude who wants to pay for the whole thing, and it's just like, I like the hierarchy of like always having at least one rich person in the group, so they're like, I got it.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I hope to be that rich person one day.
That would be a great person to be.
Yeah
as long as people don't take advantage,
yeah,
because that's the other thing, right? Is like, isn't there like the stereotype of like rich people who are actually really cheap because they're constantly afraid that people are like taking advantage? Right?
Yeah, or that's how they got rich, is they didn't spend their money.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. I had an interesting conversation. Can't remember who it was, but the theoretical topic came up of how do you take Taylor Swift on a date?
Oh my God.
Trying to bring this full circle.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much money do you have to date her? And then it was made clear to me that money is not discussed or brought up. Like if you went to dinner with Taylor, somebody on her team would just go and take care of it, and you would have a nice meal, and then you would leave, and no one would be like, where's the check? Like, it just happens. Probably.
I can't even begin to imagine, it's just like on another level.
Yeah. I mean, it's the top level.
Yeah. I mean, it's things like, they go like, you see she's out with Ed Sheeran at like a place that's like specifically a social club for people who are rich, and they can go hang out and no one bothers them. Right. And I go like, what does that even look like? I can't even conceive of, do they both have tabs there? Like, what's the situation?
Right. Who's getting billed? Is it on Ed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Did they date?
No, they're just friends.
Oh.
Yeah, and they've, done songs together and stuff over the years.
Do you know Brent Morin?
No.
He's a comedian and an actor.
Fuck. Cut this out.
Okay. Yeah. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Brent told a story on Drew Lynch's podcast last week. It's like 15 or 20 minutes long, and it's at the end. About he worked with Ed on a show and they acted together, and the whole thing is Ed got him tickets. He sat in the front row, and I'm not gonna blow the punchline, but it's worth checking out.
That's cool.
Yeah,
he went to an Ed Sheeran show.
He did.
Yeah,
I'll blow the punchline. And Ed got on him afterwards because he wore a Hawaiian shirt, and he was like, man, I couldn't focus on my words. I was looking at your stupid shirt
goofy.
all night. Yeah, you look silly.
That's so funny.
And then Ed proceeded to tell Brent it was like a first date or something, and Ed was like, that's the one.
Oh.
And then Brent lost like 4 years of his life because he didn't like that lady. He was like, Ed Sheeran told me.
But Ed Sheeran told me.
Yeah.
He writes love songs.
I got to do what Ed says.
He must know.
Yeah.
That's something that, because I think Ed Sheeran is like happily married, if I'm correct. Yeah. And I feel like that's like the kind of thing that people who are like in long-term happy relationships say. They're like, no, this is, and you go, all right.
I think it's a cautionary tale of like, be careful how you wield your power.
Yeah.
When
you don't know who's going to take you that seriously.
Yeah. And I'm always sarcastic. So I wonder if I ever got to be, not that I ever will be, Ed Sheeran's level, and I was just flippantly like, yeah, dude, you should marry that lady. And it's like 15 years later, at another show, some guy's like, this is my wife. I married her because you said so.
Especially if it's someone who you don't like see all the time, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You say it offhand, and then next time you see them, it's long enough that it really impacted them. That's so funny.
You got your face tattooed on their arm or something.
I don't know that there's anybody who could say something like that to me that I would like listen, but I guess I haven't experienced that situation, so I can't say.
Well, I think that's what separates the performer from the audience. Mm-hmm. There's those of us who are like, and then there's people that are like,
yeah, whatever you say, kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, I like to put myself in the audience member position, but not nearly as much as I like to perform.
Yeah. I don't know. I like both, I guess. It just depends.
Do you have a medium other than comedy? Is it possibly music that you really love being a fan of?
Probably music. Yeah. I'm really into like pop music, and I also literally the week after seeing Taylor went and saw Carly Rae Jepsen, who I also really love.
Wow. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me Carly Rae Jepsen. It's not the Friday song.
No.
Call Me Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone knows her as the Call Me Maybe girl, but she just after that continued to put out perfect pop music and has made incredible albums for years, and I'm such a fan.
Did she perform Call Me Maybe?
Yeah, she always does.
Yeah.
But I love the way she performs. I've seen her maybe 3 or 4 times now, and I really like what she does with Call Me Maybe, because she'll do I Just Met You and This Is Crazy, and the way she sings it, she goes, so, and then she goes, and then everyone goes, Call Me Maybe,
Nice.
And it's like a very fun. She always says this next song's a mandatory sing along,
Mm-hmm.
And people have, that's the thing is Call Me Maybe was played a bunch, and so people, get annoyed with any song that's like that, but it's a really good song. It's a pop song. It's just a catchy pop song. So it's like an earworm, right? So if you hear it all the time, you might be like, oh, that song again.
Yeah.
But it's, it's good, but it's when you look at her body of work, it's crazy how many songs that are even better that she had, that are just she's awesome.
Yeah. But it's also rare to have a hit that big.
Yeah, and she was also older when that came out, for pop star, older. She had been making music for a long time, and
oh really? I thought she was a teenager.
I think she was I forget how old she was, but I remember reading about it and being like, oh wow, and so she had been working and doing music for a long time. I think the story I read was that she was serving at that time. She was a waitress, and when her song started getting big, but she just, I forget where I was going with this, but I would say
Carly
probably
Rae Jepsen is old.
Yeah, I was, and that's kind of what I like about her too, because sometimes I feel I'm some of the newer pop stuff I like, but I feel I think I might be too old at this point, for some of the really newer stuff where I just start to be
Yeah, I read or found out from someone that they stopped making music when you turn 40.
That's when you officially tune out. You
cap it off.
Yeah.
And then you're because I didn't get that. I remember being in high school in the 90s, and there would be dudes older than me, and they would still be rocking 80s music.
Yeah.
And I'm dude, that was last decade, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And those same dudes are still just playing Journey and Def Leppard now. It's
you like what you like.
You like what you like.
Why mess with success, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that phases come in and out, right? Of course, death metal started, and there's always going to be death metal, but there's no new hair metal coming out.
Yeah, some things just die.
Yeah. Every once in a while, a spin-off band will show up, The Darkness.
Yeah, I remember that.
But that cute for a minute.
Yeah.
But there's like, why isn't there like new, what's his name? Bon Jovi. I guess because Bon Jovi's still alive.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I guess I think the thing is of like bringing back something that people might be nostalgic about, you have to like hit right at the right time of like when people have forgotten about it enough that it feels like fresh, but it reminds them of something, or where like young enough people have never even heard of it, right? So they like get into it again.
Yeah. It's like all the kids wearing 90s shit right now.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It is that. Yeah. And I mean, and 2000s stuff too. Like, I feel like, I don't know if this is true of every generation, where you feel like, oh my God, things must be coming back faster and faster, because I mean, I'm 31 and I feel like I go into Urban Outfitters and I see like things that were popular like when I was in high school. And it's weird.
Yeah. No, that's a trip.
Where you go like, that feels like it wasn't like, it was a while ago. It was over 10 years ago, but it's not that long ago for it to be like nostalgic, like vintage.
Yeah. We like to wear like bell bottoms and 70s hippie shit when I was in high school in the 90s. So I can see why kids would want to wear 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Or early 2000s stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess early 2000s is like, yeah. And I guess that's probably all mixed up in my head, things that were probably when I was younger. But in my mind, I'm like, I feel like I saw that in high school. But, you know, I guess it all melds together.
Yeah.
It's the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That 2000 to 2007 or 8 or 9 or whatever. There's a lot of things. Just a lot of bad choices. And I'm like, all right, we'll deal with that. And
yeah.
That's when I moved to Los Angeles in 2006. And it was just this weird, like, I was in a band, so I was trying to stay fashion forward. And it was like, let's wear girls' jeans.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the style of the time.
That was it. I still have all of them.
I mean, they might come back. They might come back.
I hope they don't. I'll never fit in them again. That ship has sailed.
You'll have to buy them again, so that'd be annoying.
I have to get them. I don't know if you could even have jeans taken out.
Someone could do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You maybe add like a fun stripe on the side. Make that your thing.
Caution tape.
Yeah. Like a cool like plaid, like you're so pumped.
Or just like a triangle of spandex, you know, so they fit.
Something to make them comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There was an animated movie that came out where the whole family's like running from aliens or whatever, like a year ago. But the dad has like super tiny skinny legs. And then just this like the rest of him is like a big fella.
That's the animation style. It's like, have you ever seen that meme that's like, I think it's a pug or something, or like one of those type of dogs, and the dog is like standing on its hind legs and like kind of leaning forward, and so it's like skinny legs, big gut, and like the meme is like like, this is your boyfriend or whatever. This is like, you know, your emo. And it's so dead on of that like specific style and body type where you're like,
it's either a French bulldog or like a regular bulldog. And it's just like, oh my God, I can see it. He's gray.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's funny. I love memes. I know I'm supposed to not because I'm a comedian or whatever, but I love memes.
I don't know how people create them.
They're funny.
I made one meme at the beginning of COVID and I thought it was going to change my life.
Yeah.
I put a picture of Jay-Z up. Are you familiar with Jay-Z's music?
Of course.
I don't know. I'm not going to get it right.
It's hard to describe a meme. I'll say that based on, you know, listen to me describe that dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I basically I changed a few words of his song to be pandy specific. And instead of get your damn hands up, I said get your damn hand soap. Man, I thought I was going to change the internet.
Here we go.
And not a single person thought it was funny at all. And I was just chuckling like all day long.
Yeah, it's hard to achieve the like lightning in a bottle feeling of like a perfect like viral meme.
Yeah.
I've like tried to do things like that. I remember, I think this was, maybe it was during the pandemic or not. When did Queen's Gambit come out? Was that before?
I had to be
after?
pandy. The chess game.
I remember the beginning of that series is like a flashback, or no, it's a flash forward, and then we come back. And it reminded me of like those 90s movies that are like the like record scratch, like, I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Right.
And I tried to make a meme where that was like the caption. And I was like, this is too specific.
Yeah.
This is very funny to me to imagine that the Queen's Gambit inserts. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Right. Like from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, but it's like it's funny to me on my couch.
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole thing, right? It's like, because we probably have comedic ideas every day, but it's like, how am I going to put this in words that the audience is going to laugh at?
Yeah.
That's where I find to be the biggest challenge.
Well, and especially things that like reference movies and TV and stuff now, it's like, I feel like I have this frustration with TV where nobody is watching the show that I'm watching ever. Like whenever I watch a new thing and then I like start to ask people if they're watching it, they're like, oh, I haven't seen that. I've been watching this. And it's because there's like so much stuff.
Right. It's saturated.
Yeah. And I feel like it's been a while. I'm sure there's something I'm like spacing on now, but it's been a while since I guess Succession was the last big show that everyone was like watching week to week. Or like Game of Thrones. Yeah. But I feel like there's like less of that. And so I feel like it's more like, oh, I'll just like happen to find a show and maybe one person I know has also watched it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the problems with the strike right now too, is because the streamers don't want to give up their numbers. Or we'll all find out that the shows like that YouTube is doing better than Netflix. Which would tank their stock price.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't be any more Netflix. But that's fine because we have plenty of streamers.
We sure have a lot of them. Yeah.
Every day there's like, do you want to pay 99 cents a year for this new platform? I'm like, yeah, but in a year I'm going to forget that it's 99 cents a year.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
You know what I love is I found, as somebody who will often do the free trial of something, most of the time if you do the free trial and then you go and you cancel it, it'll say, okay, but you have it until such and such date. So a lot of the time if I do a free trial, I cancel it immediately because it actually has no effect.
Right.
It just like keeps me from forgetting a week from now when my like 7-day trial is up.
Yeah. Because you only want to watch the one show on Showtime.
Yeah. Or like I download like an app and I want to use like a premium feature of it, but it's like $5 a month. And they go, okay, we'll give. I was like trying to mess around with, I have this like picture of me when I was a kid, when my parents had gone to, they went and saw Garth Brooks and they brought me back a t-shirt. And there's this funny picture of me as a kid in this like big t-shirt on the like kitchen counter. And recently my parents went and saw Garth Brooks in Vegas and I asked them to get me a t-shirt. I was like, I want to recreate that photo.
Oh, that's so fun.
And I was like trying to edit it to look kind of like that photo. And I like couldn't get it quite right. So I downloaded one of those like photo editing apps that has like, you know, vintage filters or whatever. And was like, of course, as soon as you download it, it's like everything is extra, right? Yep. You have to have the premium. So that was one that recently it was like, I remember noticing that it was like only like a 3-day trial. And so I was like, I'm going to cancel this immediately because I will absolutely, the 3 days will go like that. And, you know, I don't know if this is obviously not true of everything, but like most stuff that's like through Apple, like an app or something, you go to cancel and it'll just say like, okay, it'll stop working in 3 days. And you're like, yeah, okay.
I did a picture editor thingy, Reels maker one time. It was $40 a year. Yeah. And every year, sometime in November, they're like, ding, $40. I'm like, I don't know how to cancel this.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid, but.
Or they've made it intentionally, like even a little bit difficult will make you never do it. If it takes like one more step than you thought, you're like, all right. Whatever.
Yeah. It should be, I deleted the app. That's it. Yeah. Delete the app. I shouldn't have to pay for it anymore.
You would have to like re-download the app, log in, and then they would get you hooked again.
Right. And then they'll do all these things now where it's like if I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see an ad for something, I'm like, oh, I would like to see what that's about. The first thing that pops up is that, would you like 15% off? Give us your email. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know how much this costs yet. Yeah. You're already asking me for my email. Yeah. Like, get me hooked in first.
Yeah. I'll come back to you. Yeah. I'll let you know if I want the 15%.
Yeah. And then if it turns out you're looking at something that was way more expensive than you thought, you start seeing ads for the knockoffs. Yeah. And then if you wait a little bit longer, there's more knockoffs. And it's like, why was that thing $2,000 and this one's $19.95? That's
so funny. I don't think I've had that experience. I feel like maybe I just buy things. You're making me think. Like maybe I should wait.
It used to be, Instagram used to be like a couple of scrolls and then an ad and a couple of scrolls. And now I'm getting back-to-back ads.
Yeah. Yeah, in stories and stuff too. You get an ad.
We'll be right back after this ad break. Wow. We did an hour and 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're so interesting.
We are. Well, Taylor is interesting.
I mean, yeah.
And
that took us through a good portion.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to probably make that a side clip, make that a little 20-minute chunk.
Yeah, sure.
Put her on the thumbnail.
Yeah. Get people who want to hear that.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's currently working right now because I posted a Taylor thing right before we started recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's like, you know, there are so many like, have you seen there's like a lot of people doing like Taylor Swift reaction, like people who are like new fans. There's actually these two guys who I love who do reactions to Taylor Swift, and I follow their YouTube and they're really cool.
I would love to do a reactions channel.
It's a ton of work.
It is.
And also like, I don't know, I guess I've never tried, but I doubt my reactions are that good. I feel like it's got to be a learned skill to like, because I'm sure you would just get lost in just like watching it.
Yeah. Me and a buddy of mine that started this little tiny studio with me, we wanted to do a trick shot channel. So we started watching a lot of trick shots. It's like, you know, like I bet you I can get this ping pong in that jar from, you know. And you have to be super creative and think of a new and different ping pong challenge every single day.
Yeah.
But it's like, have you heard of Dude Perfect?
I have not.
They're just like this big group of guys. And every time they make a shot, they would go to like SoFi and put a basketball court in the middle of SoFi and throw a basketball from the rooftop, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or throw a Frisbee. And then you have to have a catchphrase. So for when, and you have to act like you got it on the first shot. But you're there all day chucking a ball. And then when you finally get in, you're like, dude, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
So we couldn't come up with our dude perfect.
What your sort of victory thing would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with this. I won't leave you because we're still here in the same room. We have to take a picture. But there's a Canadian guy on TikTok that sees like life hacks. And he'll watch it. And then he'll go, what? No way. And then he'll go and do it in his like metal shop.
Yeah.
And it's like simple stuff like putting a tennis ball under your tire so the hose doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
But he's just angry that he didn't think of it.
I do love that. I feel like I've learned stuff that is valuable to me on TikTok. My favorite like TikTok thing that I've learned is when you, and it sounds, I was just talking about how I don't cook at all, but I feel like I guess I must have had a reason for this every once in a while where like if you have grease from cooking something, you like take tinfoil and you put it in like your the drain of your sink so that it's like a little bowl basically. And then, you know, you let it cool off a little bit, but you pour the grease in there and then it solidifies and then you can just throw it away.
Wow.
I was like, because I feel like in the past it was always like, oh, okay, you either have to like just let it congeal in the pan and then like scrape it out to throw away,
that's not fun.
or like pour it in a jar over and over until you throw the jar away.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's smart. And I've done that.
Yeah. Life hacks are crazy.
Sometimes they're good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're, oh, definitely my favorite one. And then I'll let you end the podcast. But my favorite one is that I've seen is, you know, if you have like, vertical blinds in your apartment and you want to put up curtains, instead of having to like put up a curtain rod, you buy like the rod pocket curtains, the ones that have like the pocket in the top that you would run the rod through. Yeah. So, and instead of that, what you do is you take your blinds down and then the little hook where the blind usually hooks in, you get these metal hooks from like, you know, wherever. Oh my God. And you put it through the pocket, right? Yeah. And then that way it's just curtains using the mechanism of the blinds. And you can
slide them.
Yeah. It changed my life.
I'm rethinking all the blinds in my house right now.
Yeah. I'll send you the video. You know?
That's insane. I need a moment to process.
Yeah, I understand.
That's insane.
You know?
I thought you were going to say that you cut it in strips.
I just create the effect of curtains. No.
Oh my gosh. So many curtain stories now. We'll have to do another episode.
A curtain-based episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. A KBC.
Toys?
C, yeah. Will you please plug everything you got?
Oh, yes. I'm Paige Weldon. You can follow me on Instagram at Paige Weldon. And I would say the main thing is just check out, I have a set on Don't Tell Comedy.
It's very funny.
Thank you so much. And I'm very proud of it. So check it out, like it, and follow me, and, share it around.
Website stuff for tickets?
Oh, yeah. You can, I feel like most of the time, honestly, I end up posting that stuff more on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post anytime I'm
one-stop shop
going around.
Paige, common spelling?
Paige. Yeah.
Got that I in there.
Yeah, I feel like that's what, I feel like Paige without an I is more like the last name Paige,
Right, or like paging Dr. So-and-so.
Yeah. I think the I cutifies it,
It does. Definitely puts a lady spin on it.
Yeah.
Not to say that there can't be men with the name Paige, but I have yet to meet one.
Yeah, I'm not with the spelling with the I, but I'm sure they're out there.
Have you met a male with the name Paige of any spelling?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have such a memory of being in Target with my mom as a kid, and this guy heard my mom call me Paige, and he was like, "My name is Paige." And me and my mom were like, "All right, man. Well, have a good day."
Yeah. See you later, brother.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, Paige, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for letting me into your Swifty space. I'm new to
It's a welcoming space.
It is. It was very, I could tell by all the 13-year-olds that were around me at the show that it was a very loving environment.
Yeah, there's no one's like, "Oh, you're not a real fan." It's like, come on in, the water's fine.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of people have said that.
That you're not a real fan.
Because we kept leaving our seats.
Yeah, but those people, I don't know. I mean, I get it because it's like that ticket is very coveted.
Yeah.
So I'm sure some people are like, "Oh my God, you have no idea what I went through." And then they see you leaving. But
the security guard gave us shit.
Oh, really?
Because we would keep leaving for beers every, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. And go to the bathroom and get a snack. And we would come back and there would be little girls in our seats or whatever. It's fine. Doesn't matter. They would just scoot over.
Yeah.
Because the row that we were on was also a comped row.
Oh, okay.
So the other people that were comped were in the VIP tent.
Right.
It's not that they just didn't come.
Right.
But the other people kind of moved up a little bit. So we scooted in to the end. We were on 1 and 2 on the end.
Yeah.
And the security guard was like, "Hey man, let the girl stand on the end." And I'm like, that's not my little girl.
Yeah.
And that's her mom. And they're 4 people down.
Yeah.
He's like, "She can't see." I'm like, "Not my problem, dude."
Wow.
And he was like, "You're a bad dad." I was like, I said that's not my kid.
I mean, I guess in theory, if in the, fiction that you've made up in your head, I'm a bad dad.
I am the worst dad here. Paige, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time, everybody.
This show's a piece of shit.